Hey guys, it's Rift here, and today we're going to be watching a very confusing video on the Incredible Hulk. The video was made by Zaffy, and the link to his channel and the video will be in the description. Now, as always, please don't send any hate over to the guy. These are just responses to his takes, and not a personal attack against the guy himself. With that being said, let's get started.
From a savage to whatever the hell this is. But the sad part is, he still might be the strongest live-action Hulk we've ever seen. Most fans would agree, by the way. What if I told you this is false? Not to be a contrarian, but what if I told you that that is a complete lie? There is in fact another Hulk that may not have as many strength feats because he hasn't had as much screen time. And he hasn't had as many fights with other beings, but he may be the most powerful and vicious, scary Hulk we've seen in live action because Ang Lee's Hulk from 2003 holds 3 weapons. Unique weapons that nobody talks about. Nobody ever mentions this when comparing the Hulks in terms of power. But I'm going to. Because yes, the MCU Hulks, both of them, I consider them 2 different Hulks because they're just very different. They are more battle tested. They've fought more beings. One of them's fought the Abomination, who's become a wuss since then, but still, regardless. The Abomination, the other one's fighting Thor, god-level beings, and Fenrir, for God's sakes. While this Hulk's struggling with gamma-irradiated dogs, okay? I get it. They have more feats than this Hulk. They've fought more threats. But Ang Lee's Hulk is way more comic accurate than them.
Already, the premise for your video is completely broken. The title of your video is "This Forgotten Hulk is way stronger than MCU Hulk," with your thumbnail implying that it's not even close. But in the first minute of your video, you've said that MCU Hulk has more feats that are more impressive, and he could very well be stronger. Meaning that already it's very difficult to take you seriously because you've contradicted your thumbnail and your video title in the introduction to your video. And comic accuracy shouldn't matter when we're talking about who is more powerful between the two, because that is the topic of your video. Friendly reminder that Comic Hulk is way more powerful than any of the adaptations, and as a result, surely the most powerful adaptation would be the most comic accurate based on the topic of the video. So by your own logic, once again, MCU Hulk is more comic accurate. Zaffy claims that there are 3 reasons why 2003 Hulk would beat the MCU Hulk, with the first point being size. Let's hear him out.
First of all, size. Now, I know, size does not equal power, size does not mean you're gonna win in a fight. I get it, especially when it comes to the Hulk, but listen to me. This guy is the only one who gets bigger the angrier he gets. Every time he gets hit with bullets or missiles, he grows bigger. Ang Lee showed that to show that he's getting angrier. He can grow. I don't even know who the hell made this size chart, but he can grow like crazy, y'all. He can be like King Kong level size and beyond. That's how strong he is, and I get it. Size isn't always indicative of power. We've seen the MCU Hulk go up against bigger threats, but look at this. If they all have the same power, being the angrier they get, the stronger they get, which they all do. So I'm, at that point, if they're all leveled off like that, if they all have the same amount of anger and the same amount of strength as a result, more or less, give or take, I'm going with the bigger one who can grab one of the Hulks with his one hand and start slamming him.
This point is very contradictory and very difficult to take serious. First of all, in the introduction of your video, you already conceded that MCU Hulk could very well be stronger than the Hulk that is bigger than him, which surely would debunk the whole size matters point. Especially since you repeatedly keep saying that size does not matter when it comes to a fight, which is perfectly true. Even in real life battles, this isn't necessarily the case, but it's blatant when it comes to fiction. Take a look at Superman or Thor, or the Hulk for that matter. But what's ludicrous about this is that you seem to imply that they're all relative in strength based on how relative their rage is, which blatantly isn't true, because by that logic, Comics Hulk would be tied with the MCU Hulk for strength, which obviously isn't true. Every Hulk is different, they all have different power levels, different speeds, different levels of intelligence, their abilities are more potent than others. You cannot one-to-one compare them like that. Also, claiming that 2003 Hulk could grow as big as King Kong might be an exaggeration on your part, but assuming that he's being serious, it's blatantly not true. The tallest that version of Hulk can grow to is 15 foot in size. Although I'm not really sure why you're bringing size up at all as a winning point, when you yourself concede that size doesn't inherently give you advantage in a fight. It just makes your points all the more flimsy and difficult to take seriously.
2 fighters who have equal level of skill. Their bodies are more or less the same, the strength is okay, maybe some differs, but the skill is equal. I'm going with the bigger fighter at that point. I am. Most of the time. Obviously, there's some exceptions and variations that people are going to bring up, but size is very important in fights, y'all. Anyone who's been in a realistic fight knows this. To say that size doesn't matter, people who say that have never been in a fight in their lives, I'm sorry. Especially against a bigger guy. Especially if they're equal skill. Equal skill, and when everything's equal, more or less, I'm going with the bigger one.
Ball size. Now, I know size is not equal power. Size does not mean you're gonna win in a fight. I get it. Especially when it comes to the Hulk, but listen to me.
Okay, now you've contradicted yourself and you've completely lost me. Does size matter or does it not matter? You can't have it both ways. Once again, we're not even 3 minutes into your video and the contradictions are fucking endless. What's more is that you're under the misconception that all of these Hulks are somehow tied in all stats except for size, which once again would debunk the title of your video, the idea that 2003 Hulk is stronger than MCU, since you keep saying if all of them are relative in stats, then I'm going with the bigger one, which surely would imply that 2003 Hulk is not stronger than MCU by your own logic. And what are you talking about when you say that these Hulks are relative in skill? You're comparing a guy who fought for 2 years as the Grandmaster's champion in gladiatorial matches on Sakaar to the other Hulk that uses a tank turret like a fucking toddler.
Creature took on arguably one of the most OP enemies in ever that I've seen in a comic book film. And he displayed one weapon, one specific power from the comic books when doing it, okay? He took on Absorbing Man, okay? Absorbing Man is OP as fuck, if you really think about it. He could absorb the energy of the Infinity Stones if he wanted to. Obviously, he wouldn't become... He'd absorb all the gamma radiation from it at the very least. He's absorbed cosmic level power in the comics. He absorbed Odin's powers. He absorbed the powers of Mjolnir. He's absorbed Uru and all this shit. He can absorb cosmic level powers and be pretty damn powerful.
You serious?
I'm sorry? You're trying to imply that 2003's Absorbing Man is anywhere close to his comics counterpart? You were being really low effort before, now you're just fucking lying. It's even confirmed by the novelization of the film that Absorbing Man was literally dying from absorbing portions of 2003 Hulk's body, with him literally dying to the nuclear bomb that was dropped on the lake. You think this version of Absorbing Man that couldn't even survive a nuclear bomb can somehow absorb the power of the Infinity Stones and go toe-to-toe with Odin? No wonder 2003 Hulk fanboys are unhinged when you have fucking ammo like this.
How the fuck do you even win against someone who can become energy? Lightning, water. You can't fight them physically.
Tell that to literally every version of Spider-Man that has ever fought Electro, then.
You need to display other powers, right? The MCU Hulk has not fought someone like this. He's fought physical beings, right? Someone he can have a fist fight with. Good luck fighting water, Hulk. Good luck fighting someone who can turn from a rock to a lightning bolt.
Idiot monster. I can absorb anything, even rock. Oh.
Hulk smash rock, Einstein.
I'm really not sure what point you're trying to make, nor am I sure how it's relevant to the topic of the video. We're talking about two Hulks going blow for blow with each other, so saying, oh, one Hulk can fight a guy made of water is literally irrelevant. Especially since when you actually look at the film, 2003 Hulk really wasn't that impressive against Absorbing Man's water form. Roll the clip.
That was a gamma burst. And I get it. You could say, well, if the MCU Hulk had someone absorbing him too, they'd blow up too. Sure. We don't know that. Okay? This dude snaps the Infinity Stone and loses his fucking arm. A power to light up a continent. What's it made up of? Gamma radiation? You think this fucking Hulk is dying or getting his arm burnt off to gamma radiation? No, he's absorbing that shit easily.
This is what's known as a no limits fallacy. You're claiming that the character has the ability to absorb radiation, therefore he can absorb an unlimited amount of it with no ill effects sustained. And this blatantly isn't true, since neither 2003 Hulk nor 2003 Absorbing Man have any feats even remotely close to the gauntlet. Keep in mind that the 2003 2003 characters couldn't even survive a nuclear bomb, but let's for the sake of argument say they could. Assuming that MCU Hulk was withstanding enough energy to destroy a continent, this would mean that his body would be capable of withstanding forces anywhere between 760 teratons to 4.43 petatons worth of force. Or in other words, he would be withstanding 1 million nuclear bombs going off in his body all at once. And sure, it crippled his right arm for a decent period of time, but he eventually healed from it, and the point is that he survived this attack at all, meaning that even if you lowball MCU Hulk's durability, he is still over 1 million times more impressive than 2003 Hulk. Especially since even in this scene, we see that 2003 characters have their limits, since this gamma ray burst forced Hulk back into Banner, and Absorbing Man was literally dying because of it. So yeah, the characters clearly have their limits and they would not be able to absorb the Infinity Gauntlet. And no amount of wanking 2003 or downplaying MCU will change that.
The third reason I said is the most important, and this is you could say all my other points are bullshit. Size, him making someone explode, Zaffy, this is nothing compared to what the Hulk's done. Okay, look, this was too much for audiences to handle.
Once again, if you yourself are this insecure about your points, how is your audience supposed to believe you? In fact, what does this entire point have to do with winning a battle? Oh, one Hulk was too much for audiences back in 2003. Just because audiences were pussies back in 2003 doesn't mean that 2003 Hulk would win a fight against another Hulk. That's fucking stupid. By that logic, literally any character that gave you nightmares as a kid would solo MCU Hulk. It's nonsense, and I'm fairly certain you would not keep that same energy if this argument was used against 2003 Hulk. In fact, I'm gonna skip over this category altogether because nothing changes as far as I'm concerned. You literally admitted earlier that Hulk in the MCU has more feats that are more impressive. As a result, I don't care if 2003 Hulk was more scary for viewers back in 2003. It's nonsense and doesn't make up the difference.
Right? And people call this one of the strongest Hulks. People say this, the Avengers Hulk, the one in the Avengers movie, the first two at least, is the strongest Hulk in live action. All I'm telling to you is, at the time that Hulk resolved his trauma and became more stable and had more control over his anger, he's at least as powerful as the first Avengers Hulk. But before that,
ignoring the fact that this is literally just your own opinion and has no evidence backing it up at all, let's do a side-by-side comparison between this Hulk in 2003 and the first Avengers Hulk. Roll the clips.
the potential of his power due to trauma was overwhelming to the point where one guy exploded trying to absorb it. I'm telling you, 2003's Hulk is stronger, alright? People have called this the strongest, remember. Now, for those of you who still doubt me, who think I'm just rage baiting and talking shit and all this stuff, I witnessed this Incredible Hulk fight tanks the same way Ang Lee's Hulk fought tanks. This guy, I want you to take a look. This is not a tank that he's lifting.
Okay, why would you bring up this point then? Why would you say that 2008 Hulk can fight tanks and then immediately disprove yourself?
He was not fighting tanks in this. He's lifting a truck. Trucks are heavy, I get it. He's lifting a truck with a 50 cal on top of it. But he was doing this, trying to deadlift it and struggling, and then he was able to swing it and throw it into another car, yeah? I saw this dude chat his way through tanks. Literally take one, spin it, and throw it across the desert. And punch the tank. I saw him chat his way through all of them.
That's funny, I saw him on his ass after taking one single shot from the tank that he was blocking with the tank's turret. And again, how is this remotely relevant since you yourself consider 2008 and Avengers Hulk as two different guys?
While he's getting hit with helicopters, while he's getting hit from tanks from different directions.
Say you don't know what you're talking about without saying you don't know what you're talking about. There were no helicopters in that scene, my guy. And even if there were helicopters, you're acting as if literally every version of the Hulk can't do this.
He's stronger than the Incredible Hulk, okay? Oh, MCU Hulk, oh, you punched Surtur once and made him go like, ooh. Oh, that's your contribution, yeah? I saw you get ran over by a Jeep in She-Hulk. I don't care if that Jeep was meant to be durable against Hulks. I don't give a fuck.
This is blatant dishonesty at this point. Not only are you acting as if Bruce Banner of all characters would willingly use all of the strength available to his Hulk persona, but you're also ignoring context, since in that scene, he was not trying to hurt Jen. All he was trying to do was stop her from leaving. You're also acting as if him being run over did fucking anything to him, and you're also ignoring the fact that even this version of the Hulk is still over 1,000,000 times more durable than the Hulk that you shill for.
It's a Jeep. Ang Lee's Hulk would fuck these Hulks up. I'm sorry, it's just true.
I mean, you've said it's true, so therefore it must be true. Never mind the fact that there is no evidence backing up your claims. In fact, the evidence actually contradicts your claims. Never mind that. You've said it's true, therefore it must be. The guy who struggles to endure fucking tank rounds can totally beat the guy who can nearly beat Thor into unconsciousness. But anyways guys, like I said at the start of the video, please don't send any hate over to Zaffy. Even though his take is delusional at best, it's clear that it's just his own opinion and therefore we should respect him for it. I hope you enjoyed my video, and if you did, consider subscribing to the YouTube channel, as I have a plethora of response-based videos that I would like to make in the future, some Hulk related and some Spider-Man related. I thank you all for watching, and as always, I hope to see you all in the next one. Take care and have a good rest of your day.